What's good, everybody? TrashDaKid here. I'm back with another reaction video that we haven't really done in a minute. I'm here to look at a game review for one of the most anticipated and hyped game that's coming out very soon, which is a Black Myth Wukong, which I've been hearing a little bit about something that's got me since the game's coming out tomorrow, or I guess less than 5 hours right now, I wanted to check out GamerRanks before you buy a series on Black Myth Wukong to see if it's okay, there's no performance issues or anything like that, because we know how the gaming industry be nowadays. Might be some broken stuff in there, not optimized for PC. I gotta make sure I know everything before I get my game. But I think the last game review that we watched was Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, which was really good, very good. That's part of my game of the year for 2024. But we're not here about that, we're here to hear about Black Myth Wukong. So, let's get it. I meant to watch this earlier, but my headset broke and I just been busy with some other things, so here we are now. Alright, let's get it.
Hey, and we're back with another episode of Before You Buy, that show where we give you some straight up gameplay and our first impressions of the latest games releasing. As usual, it's me, Jake Baldino, and today we're talking about Black Myth Wukong.
Let me know about it.
This is a big action combat adventure from Game Science. This is a mobile developer jumping into their first big console PC game. Now, this game has been slowly hyped up for years, from its graphics to its character and story.
Oh, you can stun it or paralyze it? Okay.
Keeping an eye on it. Now, keep in mind with this video, this is my first
that tiger health is not going down.
Like 13, 14 hours or so, but I'm actually liking this one more than I expected. It's flawed for sure, but I think if you had your eye on this and you were hopeful, yeah, it's pretty cool. It's ambitious, and even where it stumbles, I think this is a great debut for this studio. And just so you know, I've been playing a review copy on PC. That's where all this footage is.
PC, that's
and all of this gameplay footage you see here is spoiler-free.
That's good. Also, I don't think my PC is in the middle for the recommended and minimum, so I could probably run it, but it just won't run, the best or smooth like that. But I might still try it, depending on how this review goes.
So, if you haven't already heard this, it's important to note that Black Myth Wukong is inspired by the 16th century classical Chinese novel Journey to
which
the
I'm
West.
reading on another YouTube
This, to me,
channel.
is one of the game's defining bits. It's why I was interested. You play as a badass monkey with a staff, and you go on a really varied adventure, fighting zombies and creatures, rat kings, evil ancient monks, dragons, you name it. This is a fairly linearly structured game with some diversions. It's not really a Souls-like, like many people expected.
It's not a Souls-like.
Sure, you rest and level up at bonfire checkpoints, but that's really where the comparisons end. This is an action combat adventure with light RPG
I can see it. I can see it right now.
You have some stats to worry about, but you're not upgrading a multitude of stats like endurance and strength and magic and intelligence. No, it's all just focused on the basic level up and simple loot and character progression through a skill tree and some other tricks along the way. Now, your character, as a baseline, has a heavy and light attack as well as a dodge. A lot of it is based around focus points, so you need to dodge and strike and do well to build this up.
Knock that right on the ground.
To waste some stamina and charge it up, and then bang!
Dang, never mind.
When you have these points, you can launch a more powerful heavy attack that can often stagger enemies and have other bonuses. You can also deflect certain enemy projectiles, but otherwise, your main defense is really just dodging like crazy.
There's no parry.
Perfect dodges are rewarded with a satisfying effect and a little bonus. So get that focus stored up and hit triangle at the right moment, and bam! A Monster Hunter greatsword level slam dunk that just feels so satisfying to properly pull off. There are also multiple stances that are swappable on the fly with the D-pad. These stances are really just variations on the monkey's staff. Oh, did I forget to mention that it's like a staff that can transform? Because that's part of the ancient lore.
Does it grow and shrink too?
These don't change your entire fighting style, but they do matter the most with that charged heavy attack for situational shakeups. There's the big heavy slam, which is just so satisfying. I tend to stick with that as the main. But then there's the elevated staff where the monkey perches atop it like a tall pole, avoiding some damage while also charging up a big downward slam. There's more, and I'm still experimenting with them, but I'll let you discover them. They seem pretty situational, and I've had a tendency to only swap to and use them in specific instances, more than just having them equipped and using them consistently. Even still, sometimes it's tough to learn where exactly a stance might work. because enemy attacks are so insane and aggressive, it can take a lot of trial and error to really get what the hell you're doing with a stance.
Okay.
A lot of the times you're given these stances and then their use case isn't really spelled out for you. You gotta just figure it out.
They don't hold your hand for that
I kind of
part.
like these implementations.
Is it
Along
like a
with
difficulty
that,
option
you have a
in this game?
magic
Or
meter
is
that
this
you
one
can spend
difficulty?
on special abilities.
magic?
The first one introduced to you is a temporary and pretty short enemy freeze, like catching them for just enough time to land a few hits.
Saw that in
Some
the
of these
beginning.
abilities are offensive, some that help a little bit in the defense department, and they're paced
Is that
throughout
the
the
game
game
right there?
and seem effective,
Hold on.
but a little bit in the defense. Time to land a few hits. Some of these abilities are offensive, some that help a little bit in the defense department,
that's the
and
game.
they're
That's not me.
paced
That's the
throughout
game.
and seem effective, but more importantly, entertaining and fun to pull off at the right moment. It's just
So that's fun and all, but I feel like there might be a little bit more performance issues on the PC side of things. We'll keep it going though.
so good to screw over an enemy at the last second. These are on cooldowns,
slight.
but the bigger challenge and strategy is not burning your entire magic meter before getting to a challenging enemy where you're really gonna need it. You're also essentially defeating certain enemies and collecting some of their abilities. Our hero character is canonically like a shapeshifter, and throughout the game, you defeat and earn the ability to transform into these enemies temporarily. There's a full transformation where like you can temporarily become a different creature and walk around and kick ass, or ones that you trigger and you will transform for a moment for like a quick thing, or like a big special one-hit attack, or like a poison blast, stuff like that. These things give variation to a pretty simple striking combat system. You can do light attacks and then time it right with a heavy attack, and the animations are incredible, but after a while you might find yourself just doing the same best combos over and over again. It really only matters when an enemy feels like a grind, or like
So there could be some repetitive combos in the game. Okay.
when you're fighting low-level enemies.
They don't matter to me.
The more complex bosses, you really have bigger things to worry about. Is the combat most refined, the most laser-precise, balanced thing? No. If you were looking for a Souls-like, this is where you might be disappointed if you were looking for even more depth, but I had fun with it. Story-wise, it has a lot going for it because of like what I said, like what it's based on. I only know the basics of Sun Wukong, but I was really just here for the ride. And
yeah, I'm not too far into Journey in the West series I'm watching. It's like Overly Sarcastic Production, I think it's called, the channel I'm watching. Kind of far into it, but yeah, I'm looking for some enemy names.
to be exposed to Chinese myth. You get mysterious tales, beautiful vignettes, thoughtful quotes, really well-designed and cool-looking characters, and cinematic action framing.
Introducing the first Dell Copilot
Generation
Plus
AI,
PC.
get this PC nonsense off of my screen. It's Sun Wukong time, baby. And we're back. How dare they?
But I didn't really get a good feel for a sense of story. You just kind of go along, things happen,
like
and
story?
characters say things and quote random things, and it really does not do a good job of ushering people into these ancient tales.
Oh, they should win some stories. They got some interesting stories. There's some interesting stuff that be happening in the series, especially with some.
I was still curious the whole time and had fun seeing cool stuff, but I wasn't like compelled or emotionally invested. It's just like a sequence of really cool stuff. Now, the game is structured in chapters. There's typically a big bad boss at the end of a chapter, and it's a matter of you getting your way there. You might run into one mid-boss that kicks your ass, so turn around and find another alternating path that likely brings you to another mid-boss you can cut your teeth on first. Occasionally, you'll run into an NPC or a little mystery, but this is mostly areas with a few mob-type enemies that mostly aren't too crazy, and then a few tougher guys here and there, and then lots and lots of bosses. Like, I mean it. You can fight one unique boss, walk through a hallway, and then bam, there's a completely new, different boss ready to square up. This is where the game is really ambitious. Like I said, the amount of unique fights feels really, really damn special.
You're gonna be fighting.
The amount of times I was in a glorious, over-the-top, brutal fight with, like, you know, screen-filling animations and explosions, thinking, oh man, this has to be the end of this whole chapter or sequence. You know, maybe I'll get a big cutscene or something. And then I finally beat them, and then nope, that was just a regular pedestrian boss in the middle of a level with another one right around the corner.
Oh, so what it sounds like in this game, get ready to fight. Get ready to fight all your life. You're gonna be fighting in this game, which I like that. I like this boxing people.
A mid-boss in this game
Jesus,
rivals
that's
some of the best bosses in other like regular action games, and That's really damn impressive. From the level of challenge to the music
get
and
hit by a
setting
tiger, I'm
to like the
quitting.
over-the-top crazy movesets of some of these enemies, it's just nuts. And I've been having a lot of fun just consistently encountering new cool stuff. It makes it feel really well paced, and also got me a little addicted, man. Like I kept playing after I said I'd stop because I just wanted to see the next new thing around every corner. And it's just really fun when you get a good run going and you just feel like a ruthless badass. When the combat hits, it hits. Now, some of the big boss enemies go so insane that they will actually trap you in a corner, and like the camera lock on screws up and makes it so you can't see attacks are coming.
The From Software special with big enemies. Yeah. All right, can't escape it. You can't escape it. You can't escape the camera angle working against you.
This happened to me way more than I'd like. And it was pretty annoying when I was doing well, but happened to get boxed into a corner by a taller enemy who jumps in the air, and then the camera gets stuck because it tried to pan up, and now like it's just a mess, and then I can't see big hits coming my way. Very frustrating. Also, if we're talking about annoying stuff, this game really needs a map. As far as I know, I couldn't find one. Even if it's just a vague map, it would really help, because some of the chapters have really big areas.
Yeah, because... Well, I don't think it's an open world, unless he said it earlier. I missed it, but it sounds like it's a linear game where it's like you beat a chapter, you get an access to the next area. But if you said it's like kind of big, these chapters, you gotta have a map or mini map or something. Like, what if I get lost? no map. No, I need a map.
It is worth noting that you can revisit and fast travel back to previous areas, previous little bonfires if you want, but that doesn't really show you much in terms of like getting a good read on an environment, on a layout. But man, I will compliment the look of these areas. Level design wise, everything is really simple.
Get that out of here.
And I did encounter some invisible walls, which was sometimes a buzzkill. But otherwise, damn, these areas look really good.
Okay, that's good.
Dry grasslands, deep deserts, lush green detailed forests, blinding white snow. In all of it, they really excel here. From graphics to art design, this game is absolutely gorgeous. Flowing rivers, lush foliage, detailed textures, striking shadows, and ray tracing. This is the rare instance of a game that was like originally teased as a graphical showcase like years ago, and then the final product actually looks really good.
Hey, that's good for you guys with them beefy computers. I don't have that, so that won't apply to me. I just need it to run pretty well on my computer. That's all I need.
With that being said, I did play on PC, and even on a high-end PC, I did have some issues. The occasional stuttering, a few glitches with some enemies floating, a few crashes, and some little frame rate issues, especially as you get deeper into the game. Means if you're sensitive to this stuff, you should maybe wait or do some more research with a PC nerd reviewer. I've seen some critics not have any issues. I've seen some have worse than me. I also have not seen the console version of this game. I believe none of my fellow reviewers have either, meaning definitely wait until we know what's up, because this game is coming in a little hot.
Yeah, that's why I'm waiting. I'm not going to buy it the moment it comes out, like day one or midnight release. I'm going to wait a day, so I'm probably going to wait till Wednesday, because Tuesday I'm going to look at the reviews on, like, you know, other critics and, like, you know, use common people like us to see, like, what do they say about the game, because you're not getting me. I'm not pre-ordering any game. You're not getting me unless I know for sure there's no issues, like with Infinite Wealth. Console players, be careful too. Well, I guess only PS5, because Xbox, I don't get this game unfortunately until later. But yeah, I will double down on that. Yeah, I say wait a little bit.
The potential technical issues muffles what is otherwise a really fun game. Like I said, be warned, it's not a Souls-like, and some Souls fans might not love the combat, but they'll like the challenge for sure. Me personally, playing this game, I'm having a blast. Wukong is a challenging, thrilling adventure with unique lore,
he is still swinging.
Vibe,
he hasn't stopped swinging.
I definitely recommend it at some point. But that's it before you buy. You know how this goes by now. I give you some pros, some cons, and some personal opinion, and now I want to hear yours down in the comments. Have you been looking forward to this game?
I have been.
I'd love to know your impressions from watching a bunch of gameplay and stuff like that.
Oh,
this video is this review is dropping before the game actually is out, before you can actually buy it and play it. So we just wanted to get you some quick info here. Hopefully it helped. Enjoy the gameplay. Let us know what you're thinking about Black Myth Wukong, really, you know, Journey to the West, anything at all down in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. If this video helped you out at all, clicking the like button's all you got to do. It does help us out. Thank you. But I'm Jake
I do like
Baldino.
this
Thank you
compare
very much
range
for
weapons.
watching.
What the heck
We'll
is
see
that?
you guys next time.
What is that? Don't let him stomp on you. Oh my god. Oh my, this boss looks insane. I'll tell you. Oh my, oh no, get away from him. No, get away from him. He's too strong. No, you're not doing any damage. Oh my god, DLC, Elden Ring, is that you? Goodness gracious. I'll tell you what, it's gonna be a challenging game. It's gonna be a challenging game. I'll let the video play out so you can get the ad stuff. Yeah. So, okay, that was insightful because I knew it wasn't like a Souls-like, more like an action-adventure type of game, but it still looks like it's difficult. Obviously not as difficult as, like, you know, Dark Souls and Elden Ring and all of them, whatever, but it still looks like you gotta, like, you can't just mash your way to success, because you saw that enemy at the end. That giant golem baby thing was going crazy. 2 hits, that man was dead. I saw that little Hulk clap too. No sir, no siree. But I will be looking to other reviews, like right there. I think it's Luke Steffen, right? Yeah, Luke Steffen's my fault, because he's more critical when it comes to game reviews. So I might check his later as well, just to see like what he says on it. But yeah, I hope the game does really well. I hope it does really well, and we get like something else from the studio, because this has been talked about for like years. I think, was it on the Xbox One it was talked about then, or was it? No, that might be too far back, but it was talked about heavily. Because I think we were all thinking like, is this game canceled? Is it even ever coming out? And then last year, I think we saw I think at one of the showcases, like, oh shoot, this is actually real? It's actually coming out? Is that a release date? So I am excited for it. I hope it goes well, but I will be waiting for more reviews to see if it's like okay to play or buy. That's a shame that they don't go too heavy in the story things, like, you know, telling the story. I hope they have some Journey to the West characters in the in the game. Like, I'm not gonna say anything in case they do show up. I don't want to spoil anything. I hope it goes well. But yeah, but from what they were saying, looks like they haven't sent any PS5 review copies to any you know, channels to like look at it, or journalists, people, whatever. Kind of weird, but hey, we're gonna see what's going on. But like I said, I'm gonna wait. I suggest you guys should wait a little bit too. If you're on the PS5 side of things, you should wait for reviews. Don't buy it day one, because who knows what could happen. Again, never, ever pre-order games unless you know for sure it works and there's no issues. That's the only time I'll say, okay, yeah, go ahead and pre-order games. But if you don't know anything about the game, wait a day at least, so the reviews can get a hold of it and tell you like the pros and cons of it. Please. But yeah, I'm gonna get out of here now. Got some more things I want to check out. So yeah, TrashDaKid's out of here. Deuces, everybody.
Mama said get out of bed, it's time to pray. Leave your ego at the door, it's in the way. Cause we just trying to get ahead, yeah. Put some money in the offering plate.